How's it going? Today we are unpacking something small but mighty. It's the Apprentice. The beauty of this is that it's a CNC in a box. Everything you need is right in here. Well, you gotta get a router or a spindle, but the entire CNC is in here. Just gotta make sure I know where to find the manual. This box has handles and can be lifted up onto the workbench without too much effort. The QR code side is the bottom, so you will cut the tape, lay the box flat, and then lift up to remove the top of the box. Wow. Oh. That is so cool. You gotta see this. Come here. The CNC is packed with custom foam inserts, making this one box wonder even more impressive to see it arrive safely and with more goodies inside. Thanks to Bits and Bits, a free 1/4-inch end mill is included with your purchase, and they even provide a 20% off code for future orders. Let's unpack the box and take inventory to get started. The official step-by-step unboxing and setup guide can be found on the Onefinity YouTube channel by viewing the Apprentice Series playlist. Thanks to Stone, you can get more inspiration for metal milling there as well. Besides the X and Y rails, you'll also find the power supply, the cables, along with the mounting hardware, the motion controller, and the Z slider. And just like that, you have your box unpacked. Okay, time to get this bad boy put together. I forgot to mention there's one more thing that I got. Yeah, I told you, small but mighty. Went with the spindle. Onefinity recommends a 28-inch square MDF platform to secure the Apprentice too. The 28-inch length is needed for the width of the X rail, whereas you can get by with something an inch or two shorter on the Y side since the 28 inches includes the hangover for the motors. I got the X rail nice and flush mounted on top of the Y rails before using the included hardware to secure it in place. Get yourself an inexpensive magnetic bit set like this one that I'm using to make this process as easy as possible. Now with the front of the Y rails fastened down and the Z slider in place, it's time to start installing cables. Oh baby. Oh baby, it like just fits. If I can get that fastened, I'm not sure, but challenge accepted. I was delighted to discover that the power supply fit perfectly underneath the overhang from my workbench top. I'm not sure this is the permanent spot for this CNC, but it's a great place to start, and although I was slightly worried the cables might not reach, I was actually pleasantly surprised to find that there was no tension whatsoever. I don't know if it'll reach if I go the whole way around the back, but I will try. Dang, they thought of everything. It does reach. Nice job, Onefinity. You have thought of it all. Time to go to real-time CNC to download the controller. Downloads. And we're on a Windows computer. All right, that's downloading. Man, this is going really well. Okay, so I'm installing the real-time CNC download that we did. My computer did try to prevent me from running that because that was just a natural protective step that my computer does when I download certain things, but I went ahead and hit more info and run anyway. Okay, we have finished that setup wizard. Gonna double click that icon. And just like it would on the HMI, that is so cool. Okay, so it's just running through a system or a series of checks. It's doing a firmware update. And it's asking us to select our machine. This is the Apprentice. Defaults were loaded successfully. That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's a cool thing about my laptop. It's also touchscreen. Oh, it doesn't work. Guys. I really thought that was gonna work. Oh, that works. Okay. Okay, but the jogging doesn't work. That's interesting. Oh, it does if you double click it. Ah! Okay. Yes! Cheat code unlocked. Now that I'm done playing, let's home the machine so that we can continue with setup by jogging the Z slider to the center of the X rail and then jogging it all the way back to square up the Y rails before fastening them down. This is the third CNC I've installed in my life, and this one was just a completely different experience for really positive reasons, and I want to tell you a little bit more about my first impressions unboxing and setting this up. You're going to want to look into this. If you're like on the fence about CNC and you're not sure if you really want to dive in with a huge purchase, this is so easy. Now, everyone comes with a different financial situation, but under $1,000 to get a CNC in a box, it fits under 30 square inches. So if you have a small workshop, this is an insanely good option. And it's just so cool. I would not have been scared to make this commitment when I was starting my research so many years ago. This is not intimidating, and it's fun. And the fact that you can do it with your laptop is just easy. And yet, just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's less capable. Onefinity managed to design this amazing CNC and fit it into this small area so that you can still have that high quality machining experience with taking up way less space. I'm just gonna play with it now. Like, let's see it move at ultra. You wanna? It even like slows itself down so it doesn't just hit at the end. I love it. I love it. I love you. Don't tell the foreman. I wanted to show you a few tips for pairing a 65mm redline spindle kit if you're thinking of doing so. You can totally use the Makita router in this setup, but if you do go with the spindle, everything you need comes in one box, including the VFD, the DRO, the cables, and two collets, an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch. Yeah, do me a favor, don't actually fasten this end of the cable onto your VFD at first. You're going to want to get your spindle and the Z-mount slider first and attach that end of the cable onto the spindle first, because you're going to need to feed that through your drag chain. And I'll explain that a little bit, but the full tutorial for that is available on the channel from Stone, so be looking for that. I think the biggest part that people get hung up on is how to get the cable started in the drag chain. And you have to remove that first piece that you saw me take off, one little screw, and then open up the entire drag chain one tab at a time with a very small flathead. And that will allow you to feed it through the X rail first, and then continue and do the same exact thing on the Y rail. Really quick before we wrap this video up, here's a glimpse into how I made my MDF wasteboard for this using 3/4 inch material. I also had a couple of spare pieces of 3/4 inch T-track laying around, and it happened to be perfect for the wasteboard area. I'm fastening my wasteboard down with wood screws, and I wanted to align all the holes that I would pre-drill with the fasteners in the T-track to give it a really clean look. 1/2 inch margins worked well for me, and I used my favorite bit to make quick work of this. And for those who are curious, I did jog around the machine with a 1/4 inch bit chucked up so that I could see those outer limits of the cut area and squared up my wasteboard within that range. I also used a ruler at the front of the wasteboard to ensure that they were all straight and squared up. Lastly, it's a good idea to tell your CNC that you have installed the Redline VFD and visit redlinecnc.com/manuals so that you can successfully carry out the spindle break-in procedure. Everyone's favorite. It doesn't even take that long.
3 hours later.
So if you're someone who needs a small machine that can support your big goals, consider the Apprentice Series. It's capable of handling all the same materials as the Gen 2 Elite machines, but it comes to you in a single box. Visit onefinitycnc.com for more details.